So some breaking massive Forest transfer news for you, as the deal for Jair Cunha could be in heavy doubt. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. Coming up in today's video, I'm going to tell you about this breaking news that's coming out of Brazil about Jair Cunha and doubts being thrown over whether he is coming to Forest this summer. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you're new to Forest Fan TV. And if you want to grab me a coffee, you can scan that QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. Okay, let's get into this breaking news. So reports coming out from Brazil are now suggesting that Jair Cunha doesn't really want to join Forest this summer. He would like to see the season out with Botafogo and end up joining at the end of the Brazilian season. Now, we know from our experience with the likes of Scarpa that the Brazilian season runs until basically December, which would mean he could then join Forest in January in the second window of registration in that January transfer window, and then start his life at the City Ground from there. That would be his ideal scenario. Apparently, the reports are also suggesting that Forest don't want to do this and are very keen to get him through the door right here, right now. And they've chucked higher wages at him to kind of, sweeten the deal a little bit. Now, this is me kind of giving you my thoughts on it. We'll go into the article in just a second, but I don't think it's the end of the world. This, for me, isn't one of those ones where it's a case of, you know what? This guy doesn't want Forest. I don't want him. I only want players that want to come. No, I don't feel it's like that. And when you think about it properly and objectively, Jair Cunha coming to Forest is very unlikely that he's going straight into the first team. He's a right-sided centre-back. He's very good, by the way. I remember telling you guys when we were first talking about the three Brazilians that out of the three, he's the one that really did excite me the most because of the potential he does have. He was brilliant yesterday against PSG, absolutely kind of schooled them at the back. So he has huge potential, but realistically, Milenkovic is Milenkovic, man. You don't come and dethrone the Serbinator just because you've walked through the door. You got to earn that position. So him staying out until January, I'm not actually against it too much. I would like him through the door because I think he would be straight away ahead of the likes of Morato, Willy Bolly, etc. But he won't be getting as much game time. So in a way, I'm not totally against this one. And the reports themselves, I think, are very true. They're coming from a huge outlet in Brazil. I've spoken to our Brazilian mates out there. They're saying they believe in it as well. Maybe that's hopium for them because they don't want to lose any of their players to us, but it looks like it's very strong in terms of the sourcing. So let's jump into the article. We'll talk through the details and then we'll break it down a little bit. So the article, and it's coming out of Globo over in Brazil, who are the kind of athletic, if you like, of sources. It says Jair expresses desire to stay at Botafogo and negotiations with Forest may no longer happen. Defender Jair expressed an interest to continue at Botafogo and therefore negotiations with Forest from England may no longer happen. The information is from the paper O Globo that came out today. The transfer was previously considered a certainty even by John Textor, but Jair's current situation at Botafogo also has an influence on the decision of the young 20-year-old who's had a monstrous performance in the victory over PSG in the World Club Cup. Glad they agree with me. According to A Globo, Forest have been trying to convince Jair to accept the challenge and has signalled in recent days an even higher salary offer than had been proposed at the beginning of the negotiations. Jair has identified with the club and intends to stay at Botafogo until at least the end of the 2025 season. The negotiation with the black and white centre forward of Igor Jesus has already been finalised, including documentation exchanged between the parties. So that's the article. So, because I know you lot are going to be asking in the comments, and I'll say it again. Igor Jesus signed the contract 2 weeks ago. Don't worry about Igor Jesus, right? You can get your comments in on him if you want. It's entirely up to you. You can say, you know, but Romano said this, Romano said that. They've been a lot slower on this story than we have, right? So I don't care how many followers Romano does, etc. We're talking to the right people on the Igor Jesus one. And I know factually he signed 2 weeks ago. So don't worry about Igor Jesus. But I've been consistent. I've said to you, the one we know for sure is Igor Jesus. We've seen what's happened with Cubano over the last week or two, the interest in Brighton, the negotiation stalling with Forest. And now we're seeing the stuff with Jair. Now, Romano himself tweeted out yesterday that basically you can consider Igor Jesus and Jair Forest players. I think that was just about when kickoff was happening yesterday. But this is the world of football and people, and this is the world of humans. People can change their mind. And I think what's happened, again, this is me speculating, is he had an outstanding performance yesterday against PSG. They beat PSG. They're looking good to go through in the Club World Cup. And we know the vibes at Botafogo are, they are quite like a family club in terms of everyone gets along with everyone, a bit like Forest. And I feel that win and that victory and that celebration they must have had afterwards has kind of just tempted Jair to think, you know what, I kind of like what I've got here. And shall I just continue on, finish out the season, and then check my options out? And as I said, I don't think that's a disastrous thought process. What I would like to see happen is if Forest, if he is insistent on this, that Forest just turn around and say, you know what, bro, no problem. Let's get a pre-contract sorted out for January. A bit like they did with Scarpa. Okay, that was different because his contract was running out. But it's not going to be the end of the world. Forest and Textor, well, Marinakis and Textor can still have their agreement on the fees and everything else. But it seems like Forest want to continue to push this through to get him through the door. Because if you look at those two performances last night, I think signing Igor Jesus when we did is a masterstroke. Because I reckon probably 10 million has been added onto his price tag after his scintillating performance yesterday. And it'll be the same with Jair. There'll be plenty of clubs that probably haven't properly scouted any of these Botafogo players, saw the game yesterday and suddenly thinking, who's their agent? We need to get in touch and have a conversation. Now, could you imagine if Forest hadn't got, you know, the ink dried on Igor Jesus' contract? Then there's every chance that someone's going to come into Botafogo and offer a few more million to get Jesus out. So I think Forest have done exceptionally well on the Jesus deal. And obviously that's why they were pushing so hard on Jair as well, because they scouted the potential in there. So that one didn't get over the line. Maybe we're going to see some twists and turns, but this is the reports coming out. Get your thoughts in on it all in the comments down below. It ain't going to be a Forest transfer window without some twists and some turns and some ups and some downs to saddle up and get ready for the ride. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Forest Fan TV if you are new here. As always, we'll keep you updated on all of the latest developments, so have your notifications on. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.